Hello, this is Dr. Sylvia Cerel-Suhl with Origami for Mind. Now we're going to be folding an origami box top of the modular sort, and this is a design created by Tomiko Fuse, who is a Japanese master. These are two particular ways of putting together a 4-module or 4-piece box top. So we're going to be showing this for some of my special students today at the Sanders Brown Center, and for whoever else gets to see it later. We'll start by having picked out colors that we like that will look pretty put together in 4 different pieces. And then we'll take one square and put the one square flat with the pretty color down, and the square will have a horizontal line towards our belly. Then we'll take one side, the left side, across and make a book fold, dividing the square into a rectangle. This is a guide fold. We're making a smooth, neat, even fold and opening the book fold to see the line that divides it down the middle. Now we're going to take our right hand, and handedness is very important in modular origami. We'll lift the bottom right corner to bring the bottom right edge up to make a right triangle. Now we'll see a colored right triangle that meets the guide fold in the middle. And now we will swirl 90 degrees to make the tip go to the top and towards our belly. Now we're going to bring the tip to the top, dividing the square in half so that we have a large triangle with the bite out of it, tucking a smaller congruent triangle inside. And if you hold it up and look, you can feel that edge, or you can see it looking like a mountain fold. And this will become an important guide fold later. The next step is to lift just the upper flap and lift that tip down to the base in such a way that we line the open edge along the mountain fold of the smaller triangle, bringing the tip just down to the bottom or the base of the triangle. And this upper fold will make a parallel line with the base of the triangle, so we have 2 parallel lines. This is another guide fold. Oh, slippery surface, sorry. We'll flip this back open and then use this guide fold to bring the whole bottom of the triangle up, holding the flaps together so that it stays together. We'll bring the bottom up to the guide fold we just created. My niece and I call this a knife in a napkin, but it makes a shape that you may think of as a sailboat. Now you'll put your sailboat down, open it up again with those guide folds, which are valley folds. Twirl it around 180 degrees, and you now have an acute angle towards your right-hand side. You're now going to bring that acute angle all the way across so this tip touches the right angle of the base. Lining it up carefully. We're then gonna make the bottom cover itself, and now we should have 2 parallel sides so that the bottom half looks like a rectangle. This should be sharp and tight, then we'll open it, and now we have yet another valley fold, guide fold. Now comes for the big, tricky final 2 folds, which pop this into being a 3-dimensional structure. At this point, this tip of the big triangle is going to come up to touch the tip of the tiny congruent triangle, as this whole open edge is held together in parallel to come and touch the edge of the congruent small triangle. But we will stop our fold at a certain point that I will show you. So we bring the tip, holding it together, and you can just see a tiny scrap of white paper showing you that I've been slightly off. We'll bring the tip to the edge. Right here, you've got a little bit of white, so it shows you what we're doing. And we're only going to fold till we reach the point of this mountain fold here at the base of this little triangle we've created, where it touches a valley fold here. And with this paper, it may be difficult to see in the light. So we fold until we have a pointy sail, rectangles, or actually a pointy sort of diamond-shaped rectangle, a diamond standing up. And then we have this mountain fold here that we will flip into being a valley fold. And as we flip it, we create the outer edges of our box. A little pinch of the corner to firm it up, pinch of that edge. And now we'll notice we have a corner of the box with a triangle, a square inner flap as well on top of yet another triangle. And this is the unique shape which will allow us to tuck in our very interesting modules to create the Tomiko Fuse top for this special box. So now, when you've had time to make your 4 modules of the colors you've chosen, then we can talk about how to put them together, which we will do next. We'll assemble them in the order that you would like. There are 2 possible ways to assemble the Tomiko Fuse origami box top using the same modules. One way is to use the tip that's pointy, the acute angle tip, as it were, letter inside an envelope. You'll notice that both sides of this module, both sides of this, have pockets which can open, functioning as the envelope for the letter. In this version, I open the rectangular half and tuck in the pointier half. I find this easier. So each time we'll put it in about 3/4 of the way and flip the square above what we're doing. The triangle goes inside the triangle and the square just flips above. So every time we'll tuck the pointy little shape or letter inside the open envelope of the rectangular flap that we've opened. And the triangle covers the triangle and the squares flip up. So we're making a spiral shape of the squares. The trickiest part, though, is when we get to assembling the fourth piece with the final piece that's already there. So we're sliding triangles over triangles and squares above what is already present. But when we get to the last one, we have to flip that square up to create our spiral module while things are still loose enough that we can manage to hold the flap open and tuck our triangle in. And that can be a little challenging, but paper is flexible. So this is why we keep it loose until we have all our modules ready to tuck together. And if it gets confusing, one good way to do it is to look at the top and see what needs to be tucked where. So looking back at the top can sometimes be helpful for seeing where the triangles should be tucked in. And when we do that, we come up with a nice tight triangle. And we come inside and we squeeze our little triangles down and our rectangles. And thus we have beautiful, tight Tomiko Fuse spiraling square inside and tight triangle outside, a Tomiko Fuse 4-module origami box top. Thanks for joining me with Origami for Mind. And again, stimulating your mind with Origami for Mind in the ancient Japanese art of paper folding.